Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at the brand new synth, the HX-ODDY from UVI. Today we are taking a look at it in the free workstation. So if you don't have Falcon, you can use it in the workstation. It's a super deep multi-sampled recreation of the original Mark I 1972 ARP Odyssey, but it goes way beyond that, way beyond. The original Odyssey was, of course, duophonic, so two notes. But this you can have like, gazillion voices, look. This is one of the factory presets. But we're going to be concentrating on making our own sounds because I want to give you a full deep dive tutorial into the actual synth. Now, one of the cool things about this, right, is it has the original 1972 patches recreated here in the patch book section. So, for example, you go to this very cool theremin patch. Which is just awesome. And you'll see that this is in the sample section. So we have two oscillators, a noise generator and a sample engine. These are all independent and can be mixed and matched as you like. It doesn't really matter, but just on the samples here, you'll see theremin. And if we click on this, you'll get all this, the patch book, the key. These are all samples, right? The oscillators are wavetables, deep sampled wavetables. So the best way to show you this synth in its entirety is to do this. Let's go this and hit HX-ODDY. And now we'll just get this basic saw wave. And you'll see that it's oscillator 1. All the oscillator 2 noise and samples are switched off. Just oscillator 1 doing its thing here. I am going to stick close to the original here and drop this down to 4 voices, just for fun. Okay, now on the main page here, you have these 5 macros, right? So you have tone, switch it on. And these remain the same for whatever patch you're on. So tone, phase. So straight away, we've got a really cool sound. Let's increase the polyphony just a little bit, shall we? Just to say 8. Then you have a crush. Switch these off. Then we have a crush. This very cool echo shifter. Everything's MIDI mappable, of course. And then we have the cloud. Listen to the cloud. So even from a very basic patch, let's go to edit. From a basic patch, you can create a really nice tone. And this is why I don't want to go through millions of presets. I want to show you that you can have the most fun with HX-ODDY by programming your own patches. You really will have a good time. So oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 are the same, right? So if we look at this, we have our basic shapes here. Which represent the original shapes you had on the original instruments. Octaves. Plus or minus 2 octaves. You have a pitch, which you can use to detune between. A colour. You'll hear on certain different ones. And this bend algorithm, right? So you also have loads of different algorithms here, and you can apply the pulse width to even say a sawtooth. Well, let's put it on square. If you click on any of these little buttons you can see here besides a lot of these controls, this gets you into the LFO section. So for example, if I wanted to apply LFO, pulse width modulation to LFOA, I'd just click on this, choose LFOA. Shift the phase. We also have a delay. So for example, if it's quite, we'll speed that up a bit. And I want to delay the onset of that. Very cool. And then also the rise of that onset. So it's not so dramatic. So it doesn't kind of just come in like that sort of thing. And then you have various shapes that you can use for your LFO as well. And you have two LFOs and two step sequences. So for example, let's go into our LFOs and take that down there. And we'll use, let's put in this step mod. So let's increase the depth there and get out of this. And we'll assign our pulse width modulation again. In fact, actually, let's do this. Let's look at the filter quickly. So these are new modeled filters. Let's apply the modulation for that filter cutoff there to our step one. So you can see here that we're going to go step one modulation for that filter cutoff here. And look at step one. You can control the number of steps here. You can go bonkers, look. At 64 steps. And I think we could just draw a bunch of this stuff in. We can smooth it out. So it's a lot smoother, of course. And let's take the smoothing off. Speed it up. And listen, you can still hear it in the background, listen, right? We're going back into our modulation here. Now we're just hearing the stepped modulation. Okay. So that's oscillator one basically, and then we can carry on with these. These are really good. Listen to some of these. So some of them are quite subtle, formant. This is very, very cool, this one. All right, let me just clear out this mod here. So clear. And then we have fuzzy and reso form. Back to this, and then it's all the same for oscillator 2. Here we have our amp envelope here. And different curves. So linear, logarithmic to exponential. We also have this really cool pitch modulation control here. So, well, it's in the middle, it's at 0 cents, so the time won't affect anything. However, if we have a little bit of time, and then lower to upper, and we can decrease the time. And so very cool. So now you could say, well, let's switch oscillator 2 on. Blend them both together, make some adjustments. Straight away you've got a really cool sound. Now what's also cool is you have another page for the oscillators, and this is where you can start messing with the detuning. This is where it starts to get super impressive and super wide, and we haven't even touched the sample engine yet. So unison, I've switched off everything bar oscillator 1. Let's switch unison voices on by moving this. And we've got full stereo width. So in the center. And then we can blend in oscillator 2. Maybe take it down an octave, oscillator 2. Okay, cool. Now we've got some FM. So let's give it some depth. So you can create some really, really cool effects and great sounds. Okay, let's switch these off. We have a noise engine and we have a choice of pink noise stereo, white noise stereo, pink and white mono. Okay, and let's get into our sample engine, right? So cool, let's turn it on. Go over to samples and also the sample filter. It's the same filter, but for the sample engine. So it's all completely independent. So you can control the sample start, the color, the pitch, the volume, and the unison, of course. So let's turn it on. The detune amount. And you just change samples by going through the different, oh, what's this one? I don't know. You also have an envelope. You can look at stuff from the patch book as well. And some of these will be utilized in some of the effects sometimes. And you have your pitch modulation, the same. The same as for the oscillators. And of course, then you can start to blend them all back in together with each other. And create even more very, very cool sounds. Awesome. Okay. Switch it on. Now, be warned on the resonance here, it is extreme, so please. Anymore, it really gets really. Whoa, it really gets loud really quick, so being really, really careful. Okay, so I am going to reset the initial patch. Actually, I need to go off and back on. Here we go. I'm going to quickly set up a sound. Use some pink stereo. Have a look at the sample engine. Pick a, I don't know, we'll pick a lead sound. Switch it on. Let's move on to the effects. Right, so you get a delay. Okay, reverb, of course. Let's put this right up there. Decay, sorry. So it's a really good reverb, but you would expect that from UVI. So you also have a drive here. Different shapes and amount control, flanger. I'll get to the chorus in a sec. The chorus is bonkers. A maximizer, EQ. By the way, in the settings, this is also where you set up your glide, and you can set the amount. Go back to poly. Right, listen, check this out. I'll switch flanger off. Listen to the chorus, right? Standard chorus stuff. But then you have this edge control. I don't know what it does, but it does something amazing. It like applies this bonkers comb filter to the chorus. Which is affected by the depth and the speed. So we could go in here and go, well, let's modulate that with LFOB. Modulate that with LFOA. I just think that's epic. Okay, let's reset that again. Something more sensible. Right. Okay. This time we shall set up another sound very quickly. I'll put both on. I'll just change the oscillators. I'm going to leave these pretty. I'm going to want to make it like a plug type sound. It's high pass, sorry. Okay. Could I suppose? Let's look at the samples and see what we've got. Maybe a pluck sound in what's this pluck fest? I don't know. Pop song. Oh, okay. Right, okay, so let's maybe give this a bit of delay. What's the time? We've got 1.8 dotted maybe, I think. I can find, there we go. Right, let's move on to the ARP. You know that, let's switch it on. You switch the anything on and off by these little dots, so the on and off for the effects at the top here. So we'll switch the ARP on. You know that UVI's ARP is awesome. So it's just a basic. Now you can have it just on oscillator or just on a sample, or both. Let's have it on both. We have some presets here we can start with, so maybe initial phaser, and you'll see it's stepping along over 8 steps. We can, this is velocity, but you can also randomize. And also, there's a bunch of presets, so we could go ramp up. Just draw in a new shape. Then you have the mode, we can randomize that as well. Some of these will be playing chords and stuff like that, but you also have some harmonized stuff, so maybe just fifths. And we can just also knit it again. We have pitch, we can randomize the pitch. Or we can initialize the pitch and say, well, let's have this one go up, say, a fifth. Let's have this go up, sorry, 5 semitones. Let's have this go up an octave. Let's have this go down 7 semitones. Then you have octaves here. Then you have gating. Let's randomize that. And you also can randomize the pan position of each of those steps. Very, very, very cool. And then you can just go and choose maybe different presets that they've programmed in for you. And of course, it's so easy to actually, we could go like, well, harmonize this as an octave. Can't hear it, right? Let's switch this back to, let's do this one as well. And this one. It's very clever. And also choose the different octave ranges. There's a speed, of course. You can set it to 1/8 or anything you like, really. So, and then you can increase or decrease the steps here. I think you can also do that here as well. So you could have it kind of polyrhythmic. Right. Awesome stuff. I'm going to finish, guys. If you've watched this video premiere, thank you very much. Don't forget to strike the like, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron, all that other cool stuff. I think this is absolutely awesome. I think it's their second HX synth, I think. And this is the Odyssey. This is just absolutely lush. But it's just like having the synth, because you've got the oscillators, and the oscillators are deep sample wavetables, and then you've got the samples. So I think to end this, I will go through some of the presets. I want to go through the patch book one, so we'll just choose this initial brass patch here. Awesome stuff. I'm going to give you a chance to say ta-ra to each other and play a few of these. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you later. Ta-ra.